Alright, what's going on everybody, it's Liam here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, we have week 2 of Test Realm. It just kicked off. It is Monday, 12 p.m. Central Time, as I'm recording this video. Alright, so starting off on the Storm, Barry. Oh. Okay, so it's the same damage. 860 heal, 860 heals that last 4 rounds. Okay, so that's a big buff to the heal department, and you set up your gambit in 1 turn, and you have an extra turn to actually use the gambit. I mean, is Jin and Shark still 2? Yeah, Shark is still 2, actually. So you could theoretically Barry heal more, even though it just takes 1 more round, and set up your max tier Shark conditional. So that'll be really good against Balance. However, Balance still probably has Clockwork Courser. I'm a little curious if they actually changed Kraken to be 2 heals. That's the main complaint I had in week 1, is you would give up 2 weaknesses for 1 heal that didn't matter. We would much prefer giving up 2 weaknesses for 2 heals, right? Because we can actually gambit that way. Okay, so give up 2. And yeah, it's still only 1, so it's not worth using. Don't use this card, guys, unless you want to lose the game. Horrible card. Jin is still 2 heals, which is really important for that Barry. Alright, let's check out another school. Let's go ahead and check out Fire and see what Fire's got going for it. Maybe Fire got some TC bans, you know, like the Sun Serpent and the Everburn. Okay, so going through Fire's library, the first thing I noticed was Krampus. Krampus is Detonate, and then you get 2 damage over times that last 4 rounds. Divum Fireheart actually got a change. It actually used to be 5 rounds, and now it's 4. Now, depending on how you look at this, it's either a buff if you want to use it to heal quicker, or it's a nerf if you actually want to leverage it as like a hanging effect and like Gambit to do more damage, or you know, get some utility out of it. So this card is really a matter of perspective, I would say. Looks like FFA got a damage buff as well. This creates 3 overtimes, and you obviously still get the fuel on the opponent, which is really good. And they last 6 rounds, so that's pretty cool as well. Looks like Helephant got a buff as well. You're basically clearing 2 more shields now. I believe it used to be 3. And now you clear 5 for a Chromatic Dot that lasts 4 rounds as opposed to 5. And it's still the same burst damage. So basically this makes it better to dual school with on other schools. And it's just better on a Fire as well. In general, I would say this is a net buff for Fire. And maybe, just maybe, it might be worth using on another school. We'll have to see if that does anything or not. Maybe if dual school can get buffed so we can actually cast the Helephant and not do, you know, 100 damage, maybe it could be good, but like I said, we'll have to see. And the only other change I see on a Fire, oh, actually, we got Mander. Mander actually got a buff here, it looks like. It just got a damage buff, and the heals are divided into 2 OTs. So basically, every time you cast a Fire OT, it's going to instantly set up your Fire Scion, it looks like. Because if you have 2 OTs on your opponent, you get the extra damage. But all your cards set up the 2 OTs. So I guess the TLDR is basically every Fire OT now, whether it's high or low pips, is going to set up your Fire Scion, which I think is pretty cool. And your utilities got buffed, like Helephant is 5 instead of 3 now. Okay, so we are now onto the Ice library, starting off with the main deck. Reindeer Knight is the same, okay. Beetle is still the same, okay. It would appear Sun Serpent is horrible still, unlucky, poor Ice mains. Snow Pig is still the same. Thieving Dragon is still incredibly OP. Golem is still incredibly OP, so that's good for Ice. What else do they have? Snowman got a bit better this update as well, in general, but we saw that in the last week of the update. Wyvern is still good. Blighthound is still situational. Yeah, I mean, Frost Giant still seems to be just a little bit of a damage buff, but not much. Yeah, I guess Ice didn't really get anything. Alright, on a Balance. Let's see what the Balance school has now. Yeah, Gearhead is still really, really broken. With everybody having unprotected heals now as well, this is going to really interrupt the game, so I really hope they can audit this card or nerf it in some way. Oh, hey, it's Danton. We should say buff Storm. Shout out to Danton, bro. Danton's a chiller. He's a homie. Pretty good at PvP, too. Okay, let's see if I can find a Hydra here, because like I said, I think it got banned in the sideboard, as it should have been. I actually cannot see any Hydras here. Okay, yes, we have it right here. Hydra is PvP banned, so the main deck and the TC are finally banned at last, which is great. But like I said, the Chimera and the Sabretooth are still really OP on a balance. Okay, something important. It looks like they actually fixed Troll and unbanned it from PvP. So now Troll should be working as intended. It's still a really powerful card, but it's not going to be exploiting anymore. So that's great. Troll is back. So yeah, it would appear Myth pretty much got nothing. You just got Troll unbanned from PvP, and I don't think literally any card changed. Like, you maybe, I don't know, maybe they shifted some like damage around, like, you know, raised it or nerfed it. I'm not really sure, but from what I can see right now, Myth does not have any changes to their TC at all. Minotaur is still in TC and stuff like that. Earthquake is still there. TC Bassi is still there. I was really thinking they would buff the Minotaur to 5 shields, kind of like how Helephant is 5 shields now. Okay, we got Death. Now, the entire community has its eyes on Death right now because it's just like the most broken school. You know, after the Hydra changes, it's going to be Death next with, you know, its library, its stats, the drains, right? So I'm really curious to see if they did anything to Death here. And let's go ahead and find out. Ghoul, still incredibly broken, unfortunately. That has not been changed just yet. And the Golem is still really good as well. Reader is still really good as well. Vampire is still really broken as well. And yeah, it looks like top path Wraith and bottom path Wraith are still broken as well. Okay, Wraith is still really, really broken, unfortunately. Okay, so Leprechaun still appears to be the same. I wish that would clear 2 for 2 hots, but it's okay. It is what it is. Pigy actually sets up your Gambit now as well. So you get a 930 heal that lasts 4 rounds, and you obviously get 2, right? So you could set up your, you know, Life Scion, your Thundering Djinn, your Storm Shark, your Seraph with this as well. Regenerate got a change as well. So now this card gives you 2 separate heals again, setting up a Gambit that lasts 4 rounds. 175 burst and is a pretty big heal. So I think if anything, if you're going to pack this, like, you know, you could do it on a Storm, a Fire, especially a Life as well. It'll be pretty good. Also, I believe Wings of Fate got a minor damage buff as well, which I think is really, really cool. I'm a bit concerned. I feel like the myth changes are kind of underwhelming. Death is still, you know, really OP, and I think the Gearhead Destroyer card on balance and even Snowdrift on an ice could really mess up the meta and indirectly make things like, you know, unplayable. So maybe if they could get Snowdrift and a Gearhead audit in as well, that'd be really good. But yeah, what do you guys think about the changes in the comments below? Do you like them? Do you not like them? I personally am looking forward to seeing, you know, dots being meta, because we can actually set them up in 1 turn now, which I think is pretty reasonable. Because the thing is with hots and dots, they actually have an expiration date. If you have to set up 2 turns for a permanent Gambit, like, you know, a 3-fold or a blade or a trap, I think that's reasonable. But for dots and hots to run out pretty quickly, I think it's reasonable to set them up right away. But yeah, that's everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and a sub if you made it this far, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care.